have an election in which the results were free and fair, and you have two clear evidences of the freedom and fairness of those elections. The first was that the ruling party of an army dictatorship, the ruling party was routed. 18 sitting ministers, including the leader of that political party, lost their seats and were not elected. And this is remarkable that sitting people get thrown out. It's a total reversal of power. Would not have happened but for Benazir Bhutto. And secondly, Pakistan, as I told you, has a debate between those who have beards and those who don't. And I'm sorry, I apologize to you. This is not a comment on you at all. In this debate between beards and non-beards, the bearded people are in a minority. They used to be only 2% of the population in the vote. But as a result of the foolish policies of this country in war on terror, the beards started recruiting additional beards to their side. And they went up from 2% to 18% of the public vote. Well, now they have been pushed back again to less than 5%. Now, this is again remarkable, that people who had built themselves up to a sizable minority have again been routed and have been shown to be the ineffectual people that they really are. Once again, significance of the freedom and fairness of these elections. But that being said, it does not mean that we are out of trouble in Pakistan. We are not. Because what has happened is that there are two political parties which have emerged. And they are very important. One is Benazir Bhutto's party, and the other is Nawaz Sharif's party. Both of them are former prime ministers. And at the moment, these two parties are bound together by a cement, which is opposition to Mr. Musharraf, to the president. But that cement is not strong enough to be able to hold. The two parties don't like each other. Their political philosophies are different. One is relatively left of center, the other is certainly right of center. And so they do not agree with each other. And the question is that if they get rid of the president, then the differences will come up and they will not be able to continue a marriage which is not based on more solid cement than they have at the moment. At the moment, we have Mr. Musharraf in power. I'm not sure whether he will survive. And for those of you who want to buy shares in the Musharraf Corporation, I would suggest that you hold it. This is not where you should put your money at the moment. By the same token, I don't think you should put too much money on the Mr. Bush Corporation either. Because basically, President Bush and President Musharraf are conjoined twins. And in Pakistan, we have a name for them because they are in the same bassinet, and they are called Busharraf. And so don't buy shares in the Busharraf Corporation. I don't think either of these corporations will survive in the long run. And as we see from the comments which are being made by important people in the United States, Senator Biden, Senator Hagel, and company, these are important senators. And they have now come out and said, we have put our eggs in the wrong basket in Pakistan because we have been backing the Pakistan army. That's not what we should be backing. We should be backing the Pakistani people. And if we can do that in future, then the relationship between Pakistan and the United States will come back on target. And that brings me to the relationship between Pakistan and the United States. The United States is not a neighbor of Pakistan, but we've had a long relationship with the United States, going back 60 years. It is a relationship which is based on the fact that the fundamental thinking of Pakistan is identical to the fundamental thinking of the United States. And therefore, the alliance between the United States and Pakistan is natural, normal, and logical. It has had its ups and downs, not because of Pakistan, but because of the United States. Because every time we go to bed with the United States, it spends a night with us in bed, and then in the morning says, it's been good to know you, but I've got to be moving along. And then and they disappear. And then after a few years, they get the urge again to have some sex. So they come back to Pakistan and have another one-night stand, and then they say, goodbye, it's been great knowing you. Now, this sort of toing and froing, which has been part of the history of Pakistan, US relations, has to be reversed. And it has to be reversed by a better understanding in the United States of the importance of Pakistan. And I hope that I've given you some reasons to understand the strategic importance of Pakistan, including the fact that strategically its thinking is identical to US thinking. But it's not a country which believes in one-night stands. And so we have to build up on a more durable and permanent partnership between the two countries. And one keeps hoping that that will happen. We're still waiting. I have already told you that the elections in Pakistan are in trouble because the cement is not good enough. But the question then is, what will the future be? How will the future develop in Pakistan? To my mind, we have no option but to have fresh elections in Pakistan within 6 months, 8 months, 1 year. We need elections again, hopefully after Mr. Musharraf is no longer there, and hopefully when Mr. Bush is no longer there also. Because only the withdrawal of these two factors, which have cast heavy shadows on Pakistan, will we be able to determine a clear line of action for the future, not only of Pakistan, not only of the United States, but also of the relationship between the two countries of Pakistan and the United States. And so, to sum up, 2 or 3 points. Firstly, Pakistan works. Don't be under the impression that it does not work. Secondly, Pakistan is going through a deep debate inside the country between forward-lookingness and backward-lookingness. You cannot play a role in that. This is not a debate which can be influenced by any outside forces. It's an internal debate. We'll have to find our solution, and it may take us some time to find it, but we will. And my feeling is, as a believer in democracy, that ultimately the views of the majority will prevail over the views of a vocal minority. Ultimately, the majority of Pakistan will remain forward-looking, clean-shaven, secular, etc. Finally, the advice that I would like to give you as a concerned party is Pakistan is an important country. Keep your eyes on the ball. This is a critically important country for the future of US foreign policy, for the future of US policy in the Muslim world, in the Arab world, etc. The debate which goes on in Pakistan should be heard much more relevantly and much more carefully by analysts here. It's a great pity to me that the United States, which is such a great superpower with such powerful tools at its disposal, such powerful tools for knowledge. You have the internet, you have Fairleigh Dickinson University, you have a thinking process. Despite that, the ignorance in this country should be so monumental on fundamentals, for example, like geography. Nobody in this country knew where was Basra or Baghdad or Kandahar or Kabul until Mr. Osama bin Laden turned up as a professor of geography at Fairleigh Dickinson University. And surely you deserve to get better professors of geography than what you have deserved, that you have got so far. And so I hope that you will understand that there is more to the world than Mr. Osama bin Laden. Thank you.